You okay? It's okay. Being wafers, so we'll have to go back to the veal. What's wrong?
Somewhere in the world, the wrong pig met up with the wrong path.
So we have a novel virus with a mortality rate in the low 20s, no treatment protocol, and no vaccine at this time.
That is correct.
It's movie night at the Silver Age Cinema. Tonight, another virus is making headlines because we haven't learned a damn thing. So Outbreak reminds us to act fast, and Contagious reminds us what happens when we don't. But first... Outbreak is a medical disaster thriller directed by Wolfgang Petersen. It opens in a remote African village where a deadly virus spreads through the population before the U.S. military moves in to contain the situation. Years later, Army scientist Dustin Hoffman, as Colonel Sam Daniels, is called to investigate a similar outbreak in Zaire, and he quickly realizes they're dealing with something capable of becoming a global catastrophe.
No, just hang on. No. Don't expose themselves, Casey! God damn it! Isolate them! Isolate them!
One of the movie's biggest strengths is how clearly Petersen tells the story. There's a lot of science, military procedure, and medical jargon, but the film never gets lost in the details. The danger arrives in the United States through a white-headed little monkey that is illegally smuggled into the country. The movie does a good job showing how a fictional outbreak can spread in believable ways, which makes the threat feel even more real.
You know it's the biggest thing we've ever seen.
Oh, Jesus. You're killing me.
Fresh, brand new virus.
You're still killing me.
Things take a turn when Jimbo Scott becomes one of the first victims in Cedar Creek.
What the hell?
Oh, I see. So your ship came in.
Hey, is that Patrick Dempsey?
Absolutely untold. Keep it that way.
McDreamy has sure seen better days. Back to the review. After the animal escapes, the virus starts moving from person to person through everyday contact.
Are you gonna eat the rest of that cookie?
No. You can have it, Sheriff.
The practical makeup effects help sell how serious the disease is and gives the outbreak some totally unsettling moments. As the number of infected grows, Daniel and his team arrive in town and discover similarities to the African outbreak. Rene Russo joins the investigation, and together they race to identify the source before the situation spirals out of control. The cast is excellent across the board. Dustin Hoffman brings legitimacy to every scene, while Rene Russo, Morgan Freeman, and Cuba Gooding Jr. help anchor the investigation. Donald Sutherland shows up as the imposing force, General McClintock, and Kevin Spacey adds another memorable supporting performance. What keeps the movie interesting is the clash between medical experts trying to stop the virus and military leaders focused on controlling the situation. As the disease mutates and becomes easier to spread, the tension ratchets up. The quarantine of Cedar Creek creates some of the film's strongest moments as panic spreads and options begin to disappear. James Newton Howard's score fits the mood perfectly, while Petersen keeps the escalating crisis easy to follow, even as the stakes continue to grow. By the time Daniels discovers evidence that the government may know more than it has admitted, the movie has built an atmosphere of fear, secrecy, and desperation. The escalation never stops, and every new development pushes the story forward. With thousands of lives hanging in the balance and time running out, all anyone can do is try to remain calm. Wolfgang Petersen directs Outbreak less like a medical procedure and more like an action thriller. Before this, he had made a name for himself with Das Boot and In the Line of Fire. Outbreak hit theaters while a real Ebola outbreak was making headlines in Zaire. Decades later, COVID gave the movie a second life as audiences revisit its outbreak, quarantine, and contact tracing themes. The science isn't always perfect, but the fear at the center of the story suddenly felt a lot more real. The cartoon playing in the theater is a Tom and Jerry short that ends with both of them in quarantine. Not a coincidence for a movie called Outbreak. My enjoyment rating for this virus-fueled movie is a B.
We're not moving!
Contagion is a medical thriller directed by Steven Soderbergh. A mysterious illness begins spreading across the globe, and Soderbergh follows every step of the response with almost documentary-like feel. Beth Emhoff returns home from a business trip to Hong Kong, feeling extremely sick. At first it seems like regular jet lag, but when doctors encounter symptoms they can't explain, the movie becomes unsettlingly fast, because everyone reacts the way real people would. Matt Damon as Mitch Emhoff suddenly finds his family caught in the middle of a growing medical mystery, with Matt bringing a lot of humanity to the role.
You know, I mean, I just saw her. We were just at home.
Is there somebody that we can call?
We had dinner. We had pizza. She said she was jet lagged.
Soderbergh keeps everything focused and believable, which makes the situation hit even harder. As similar cases begin appearing around the world, the scope begins to expand. Lawrence Fishburne's Dr. Alice Keever helps coordinate the CDC response, while Kate Winslet's Dr. Aaron Mears is set to trace contacts and determine how the illness is spreading.
As of last night, there were 5 deaths and 32 cases.
We're isolating the sick and quarantining those who we believe were exposed.
Okay, good.
The scientific side of the story is fascinating because the movie takes contact tracing and public health seriously without slowing the pace. Investigators soon realize everyday interactions may be enough to transmit the disease. And suddenly, credit cards, door handles, and handshakes become terrifying. Few movies have made ordinary objects seem this dangerous. As officials trace more cases, they discover the outbreak has spread much farther than anyone suspected.
I really need you to get off that bus. Listen, it's quite possible you come in contact with an infectious disease and that you're highly contagious. Don't touch anyone, that's the most important thing.
What about my kids?
The film constantly shifts between perspectives while keeping the pace. Each storyline adds another piece of the puzzle while maintaining momentum. Scientists race to identify the virus while government and hospitals struggle to keep up.
What the hell?
Now I understand that Mitch is trying to protect his daughter.
Get away! Get away!
But with the shotgun, bro?
What are you doing?
Stay there!
We remember what you were like in the 90s, Matt. Anyway, back to the review. The ensemble cast is excellent because nobody is competing for attention. Marion Cotillard, Bryan Cranston, Elliot Gould, and the rest are all parts of the larger story. Jude Law is excellent as Alan Crumweed, who begins a growing audience by questioning official reports and pushing his own theories.
I've been taking it since the onset of the symptoms. If I'm here tomorrow, you'll know it works.
As shortages begin, stores empty, quarantines are established, and travel becomes restricted, the film captures the fear and uncertainty that spread alongside the outbreak. With infections rising and no proven solution in sight, even the vaccine development process becomes surprisingly suspenseful. By the time scientists begin closing in on answers, the virus isn't the only thing spreading. Nothing spreads like fear.
Because of the high volume of 911 calls, please use the following directory. If you have symptoms, please hang up.
Steven Soderbergh directs Contagion, a film that gained popularity during COVID because of how closely it mirrored real-world events. He later said the science held up, but the human behavior was far more unpredictable. The movie was used as a reference by some governments when preparing for real-world outbreaks. Here's Matt Damon with some thoughts on the movie.
Did a mountain of research and talked to all the experts. They explained exactly what would happen, and the movie's really accurate. It was eerie, for all of us to look at it once the world started to kind of imitate the movie. Luckily, COVID wasn't as deadly as the virus in our movie. And for anybody who said we couldn't have predicted this and how could we have known, it's like, well, a movie came out about it 10 years before that kind of told you everything. Not because and if people in Hollywood have any kind of secret answers or we guessed, but because we actually just took the time to talk to experts and let them lead our story.
For Beth's autopsy scene, the filmmakers reused the silicone head of Gwyneth Paltrow, the same prop created for Seven that answered the infamous question,
"What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?"
My enjoyment rating for this pandemic nightmare movie is an A.
The virus will be the least of our worries. It will tip over now.
I got bad news, guys. There's only one tub of popcorn.
Can you get to the part where there's good news?
Well, we can't share. You know this.
No, I don't know that.
Thank you for stopping by, and please consider subscribing. And here's another great double, just in case you missed it. See you next time at the Silver Age Cinema, where one movie is never enough.